for me to call back.
That's not that's not rude at all. That's commonsensical. You want to laugh? I'm the guy. Oh, my brain just stopped working. Oh, for God's sake. I was going to tell you something, and it'll come back in a minute.
All right, one last.
Hey, it's your friend Mike O'Neill for the Mike and Mike Off-Air podcast from the new My 97.5.
Mike Pesto hanging out over here. And, of course, thank you for watching on YouTube, also online at my975fm.com, and our usual home now. We had it as the video of the week because it had been so long. It was a bit of a novelty. Now it'll just live there every week. The newest episodes you can find at my975fm.com, but all the old ones, check out our YouTube channel.
And thank you so much for liking and just giving it a try. We'd be honored to continue if you would continue to listen. And I know you've got a whole bunch of stuff over there and very, very well intended. But I have to say, last night we were just, as a whole family, mystified and just hypnotized by the story that transformed over the Potomac, flying into Washington when that military aircraft flew into that American Airlines plane.
Yeah, the Black Hawk.
Watching it over and over again. And I don't know anything, okay? Meaning I don't think there's been any official resolution there. But, boy, it sure looked like that helicopter wasn't where it was supposed to be.
I'll tell you as much as I know about it because my focus was definitely shifted on something a little closer to home, as we'll talk about in just a little bit. But I know it was a Black Hawk helicopter involved and an airplane, and it's the first time two air vehicles, in this case a helicopter and an airplane, have collided over U.S. airspace in 15 years. I think they said it's been a minute. And that's all I know, literally.
And way to pick the busiest airport in the country. Boy, I'm so sad that happened there. Apparently it hit. The plane split right in half and went right in the water.
Wow. And I do know there were no survivors aboard the airplane. So obviously I know a little bit more than I thought I did. And there were a few U.S. Figure skaters on board the plane. There was a husband and a wife that have competed and still compete, I believe, for the U.S. Skating team and either have been or were planning to be involved in the next Winter Games.
Wow.
And again, no survivors on board the plane. I haven't heard anything about the Black Hawk helicopter, though.
Well, I'm sure that there'll be more and more to come out, and obviously we're praying for each of the families of those that lost folks, and I sure hope that resolution comes about and we find out why that happened and so that it can't ever happen again.
And I'm sure there will be. Both vehicles were found. I don't know with military vehicles if there's a black box per se, as there are with airlines. I know the airplane has one, and they'll be able to recover that and get recordings and flight data and things of that nature. With it being a military vehicle, I don't know. There may be some extra wrinkles with this because then the Pentagon is going to have to get involved, if there is, and quote-unquote declassify certain bits of information so that people can assess what happened. So, as I said, it does not happen again.
And I do remember hearing, as the news was going on, bits and pieces of the air traffic controller and the controller telling the helicopter, hey, get behind the aircraft. Get behind the aircraft.
Too late.
Yeah.
Again, one of the reasons my attention was diverted from that was the huge story that made national news out of Handford. Still wondering, though, and I would love to get into it with you on this, why my phone never went off with an Amber Alert.
Right.
But there was a huge Amber Alert post on Kings County Sheriff's Office page about, and I'm sure you've heard the story by now, allegedly, because we don't want to get sued here, individual shot his girlfriend, took their children, they had two children together, a 3-year-old and a 2-year-old, and got in his Hyundai and took off. They had so much information on this guy, though. They had a picture of the back of the vehicle, where they got that picture from, maybe a toll booth that he went through and didn't pay the whatever it was. It didn't have the little thing set up, so it did, but they had the license plate number, the vehicle, the make, the model, everything.
Yeah, they were going to catch him.
They knew he was heading toward Mexico. As we are speaking here on this Thursday afternoon, there's a press conference scheduled at 3 o'clock today. where they're going to give the details where the kids were found, where things stand with the boyfriend/father. They did catch him as well. He is now in custody. What exactly he's going to be charged with. But I don't know where they were found at this point. We'll get more details at 3 o'clock. But why didn't we get
an Amber Alert?
That alert on our phones? We got the silver alert, and I'm glad we did with that gentleman from Woodlake a week or so ago. And thankfully, again, he was found safe within 24 hours. Why didn't we get the alert on the phone?
That is the rhetorical question of the moment. I knew that subconsciously, but I hadn't thought of that. That's true. You would think that would have been out almost immediately.
The only thing I can think of, maybe, and Kings County Sheriff's Office kind of covered themselves because people were posting on their Facebook page, hey, this is a big deal. Why didn't my phone alert me?
Yeah.
Because it's supposed to. They threw up a post yesterday or earlier this morning basically saying that it's CHP's jurisdiction as far as if Amber Alerts go out in a case like this.
I didn't realize that.
And I didn't either. And if that's true or not, I don't know. Are they just deferring? I don't know in this particular case who should have been responsible to make sure. But I would imagine if the Kings County Sheriff's Office called over to CHP and say, hey, not for nothing, but would you mind put a little request in for an Amber Alert? Because this is kind of important. The sooner we get this information out, especially with the thinking he was heading to Mexico, the more people on top of this and looking for him, the better.
I just, whenever I hear about something like this, I just don't understand why it gets to where it did. Mm-hmm. I just don't understand. I mean, we've all been in relationships that have gone sideways. We've all been in relationships that didn't work out. I have been angry enough to scream my head off at my wife, but it has never, ever occurred to me to shoot her or any past girlfriend. My daughter once asked me, she heard that, she asked me when she was very young, she said, Dad, if somebody ever hurt me, raped me, or tried to kill me, would you kill them? And I said, God, no, honey. Because if I did that, then I would be lost to you for the rest of your life. I'd be in jail for the rest of my life. I would do everything I could to have that person brought to justice, put away. I'd be angry enough to do that, but I never would because I would be lost to you forever. And I just don't know how it gets to that.
I hate even asking the follow-up question then, but what if they had been successful? Say someone breaks into your house and wife gone, son gone, children gone, and you are
right,
and you walk in and find them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you can honestly answer that question because it's like anything else when it's a fight or flight situation. You can't possibly know in that moment what you're going to do. My opinion.
I would shoot back.
Uh-huh.
I mean, if I were trying to protect against the bad guy, that's different. I mean, as a husband scorned is what I meant. Mm-hmm. As a husband scorned, which is what this sounds like. It sounds like a relationship didn't work out, and this guy was taking the kids and heading out. And that I couldn't do. But if I was in my home and somebody came through the door, you better watch out. Mm-hmm. I would defend my home, if that's what you're asking.
There's a part of me that I'm going to use the wrong words here, and I apologize for that. Feels sorry for him, the boyfriend/father, because of where was he mentally in that moment to think that what he was doing was justified by any means at all, to take a life, and again, allegedly, and then take the kids and end up wherever they ended up. I was so fearful when I first heard this story, and I saw it on the news Tuesday when I came into the station. First thing I saw, it was everywhere. And I made sure I got it up on our socials to make sure that if you saw it, you helped to get it beyond everywhere, that they were going to find him and them, because so often in situations like this, people act in the heat of the moment, realize what they've done, take their own life, and, well, kids as well.
God,
that
hated
happened.
that.
That seems to be the ending in situations like this more often than not.
Well, he's already. What in his mind? What has he got to lose? He's
I
already
think the
killed the
thinking.
wife. He's already killed the wife.
It's like I'm going away for a very, very, very long time because at this point in California, while people I think are still getting a death sentence, it's not being followed through with the governor. But I'm sure you know what? I did what I did. They're going to throw the book at me. I've got nothing else to lose at this point.
You would have to, mental illness is obviously going to, real, valid mental illness in the moment is going to be the only legs he can stand on, obviously.
And I can only think of maybe one case I can think of that comes to mind right now where anyone has ever gone to a jury with that and had the jury say, yeah. But the fact that he took the kids, got in the car, and went wherever he went, I mean, that any jury will look at that and say, well, you did that because you knew what you did was something wrong, i.e., you weren't insane.
No. I don't know how it's going to resolve, but I guess we're going to have to keep our eye on it. Again, I just don't know what it took for him to get all the way there. I mean, we don't know much about the couple, obviously, and I mean, we don't know if I mean, and I don't know if it really matters. I don't know if it really matters what she may or may not have done. I mean, what? So what if she did? What if she? I mean, I'm just saying. What if she did make marital mistakes? I mean, short of endangering the kids, that's still not a good response to kill the wife.
And especially,
he's a man. He's bigger than the wife. Probably he can get the kids at least safe. Police, meet me here. There's an issue. We got to resolve this.
Yeah.
Not bang. I solved the problem myself.
And if that was the case, then you go immediately to the police and say, this is what happened. Or you get in touch with family members and they tell you, okay, it sounds like what you did was justifiable homicide. There is such a thing. Let's get this situation covered. Come to me. We'll call the police and you could tell your side of the story and then we'll go from there. But the fact that he bailed and ended up wherever he ended up,
usually more common when it's the wife in danger and she's fleeing. That's more common when you see that. But it's weird that he was fleeing. I mean, it doesn't look good for him, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, it'll all come out at some point. Again, it's a developing situation as we're talking here on this Thursday afternoon. Again, with that press conference coming up at 3:00, and I will be watching that for certain.
And I want to know, finally, ultimately, the deal with the Amber Alert. I really would like to find that out.
Hopefully they'll explain that. And I just want to personally thank anyone who saw the post on the station's Facebook page. We had the post there, actually 2 or 3. We had one that was pinned right to the top of our page. If you saw that, if you shared it, if that helped at all, or even if it didn't, just in getting people used to sharing things like that, so that maybe you don't know anything whatsoever, but you may have a Facebook friend that does, or they might, and they share it from your page. The more eyes are on it, which is why Amber Alerts go out, the better.
Yep. Thank you for helping, if it was you, for sure.
So, new poll question is going to be up as of tomorrow, again, since we're talking Thursday, with the big game coming up, not this coming weekend, but next weekend. There has been a movement afoot for years now that the Monday after the Super Bowl should be a national holiday. In fact, according to a recent poll of more than 3,000 football fans, more than half agree that the Monday after the Super Bowl should be a national holiday. Now, again, that's football fans, and even football fans are divided on it.
Well, great. 11 years after I stopped drinking, Mike. Thanks. Great. Now it's being taken seriously. Now I don't really even care. Like I would have.
Can you see, well, first of all, let me just ask you, here and now, if it was a ballot measure, would you vote to have Super Monday, which is what they've toyed around with the idea being, Super Monday being a national holiday?
Honestly, probably not.
Yeah.
Day after Christmas, maybe.
But even with that, because it's definitely, it is a religious holiday, although consumers will tell you otherwise on occasion. I don't see them blurring that line with it. National holidays seem to be set aside for Lincoln's birthday and Washington's birthday, and Martin Luther King Day, and things of that nature. I don't know if there's any precedent for anything like this. I get it, and I would even understand certain types of businesses saying the day after the Super Bowl is a holiday.
Well, they'll rationalize it as a day to celebrate, but it'll end up just being nicknamed Hangover Day. I mean, really, that's ultimately all it will really be beneficial in, practically to anybody, I think.
Yeah, I don't see it happening. But again, the poll question is up as of Friday, tomorrow, and it will be up for about a week. We have all those poll questions, and we rotate them. Try to every Friday at my975fm.com, same place you may be watching this video.
And we appreciate you sounding off. It makes a difference. It really does.
All right, what else did I have I wanted to hit on? Something else. Where was it now? Hold on, I want to save that for last.
I promise I didn't steal it.
A question that I threw up on Facebook, was it yesterday or today? Maybe it was today, actually, because today, Thursday, is National Inane Answering Machine Day. First of all, who still has an answering machine? Yeah. I guess anyone who has a landline still, and very few, less than half of us do at this point.
Well, technically, if I can interrupt?
Yeah.
Technically, all of our telephones have an answering message. It's not a machine,
correct? Yeah.
You. But again, the day is
Inane Answering Machine Day. But extended out to messages. So I had some fun this morning. I don't know if you heard it or not, but I've been practicing my Matthew McConaughey.
Oh, let's hear it.
All right. So I've got this big Super Bowl commercial coming up. Hope you can come out and check it out if you're watching the big game. And all right.
Well, what's the phone message you actually do have right now?
Right now it is an inane one. But what I did earlier this morning, I did my best Matthew McConaughey. I had a little script that I read.
Oh, my.
I said, hey, if you happen to have your phone handy, get out the voice recorder and record in 3, 2, and then I did the voice. So I said, and if you want to use that as your outgoing message from this point on, by all means, please do. I won't even charge you a royalty fee.
What I'd like to know is as you hear this, if you were one that used it, at least email Mike and go, hey, I used it. I'd like to see how that tops out.
Yeah, I got to change mine now at this point, too. I'll just go ahead and read the script again. But
yours is a little. Didn't you have Sean?
Sean Connery.
Yeah.
I had him for the longest time when Daniel Craig announced that he wasn't going to be James Bond anymore. By the way, for the record, they still haven't announced who the next James Bond is going to be. That movie came out, I think, before COVID.
I know.
Was the last James Bond movie is when that came out. But the question that I asked, and I try to have some fun with the things that we celebrate every day, and I ask an interesting question on Facebook. At least I think it's interesting. So the question that I asked in association with today being Inane Answering Machine Day is, and I'm scrolling through my phone right now, make sure I get it right. When you see that you missed a call from someone you know, but they didn't leave a voicemail, do you call them back?
Unless it's somebody I know and I've been expecting a call, almost never. If it says spam and I don't recognize the call, I'm not picking up.
Yeah, and this is with the question. It's someone that you know. So you see.
So I know it's someone I know.
You weren't expecting a phone call from me, but at some point you look down and, Mike tried calling me about a half hour ago, but didn't leave a message.
Then yes, I would call because I'd be concerned if there was something wrong.
I will always assume it's a butt dial. I will. I've got a hard and fast rule, but again, like most rules, there are always exceptions. If it's my wife. Yeah. Yes, I will. I will call her back.
Wife, and I have 2 girls, so I mean, my kids are girls for the same reason I'd call my wife back to make sure she was safe. Same idea.
And the other exception to the rule is if it's someone that I have previously called and left a voicemail message, or someone that I've texted and I say, hey, when you get a minute, give me a call. If I see I missed a call from them and I was expecting it, then it's okay. Chances are that wasn't a butt dial. They were actually calling me back. I don't know why they didn't leave a voicemail, but let me do the courteous thing and call them at that point.
I kind of go in spades. I can be a really bad butt dialer, and I'm not in one of those seasons right now. But my daughter's right below my wife, and they can get hammered sometimes on. And anyway, but no, I just want to make sure if it's my girls, make sure they're safe.
Yeah. So family, I get, but if it's anyone else, don't take offense unless I'm expecting your call. If you don't leave if my thinking's always been, if it wasn't important enough to leave a message, it's not important enough for thought to come back in your mind as well.
Maybe not.
Do you have any concert T-shirts?
Oh, God. Tons.
So you see,
That's funny. That's funny. I just thought of a funny one. We went to Foghat when they came here.
Okay.
Love Foghat. 2 of the members were even original. And we waited in line. I got the T-shirt. I got it signed. I took it home. I wore it the next day. My wife threw it in the washing machine, and it was no longer signed. Thank you, honey.
I thought that's where it was
Hour
going.
in the sun. But anyway. Yeah,
So,
I've got tons of them.
I saw this. I talked about it briefly. There was some celebration going on. Maybe it was concert T-shirt day. Any idea on average, like on resale places like eBay and other places like that, I've got the top 5 groups as far as best resale value on T-shirts. Concert T-shirt.
Taylor Swift would have to be number 1?
No.
Not even?
Not even close.
Are the bands newer or older?
Definitely older. They've been
Good.
around
All right.
for a while, and they are all bands.
Then I have a better idea. Pink Floyd's got to be in there.
Pink Floyd, not on the
Shut
list. Not
up.
even in the top 10.
Stones?
You would think.
Nope. Zeppelin?
Wow.
Then
No.
Then it's going to be newer bands. How about U2?
U2 not on the list.
Wow. I'm shooting some hard blanks here.
Number 10,
Oh.
I don't recognize at all. XXX Tenation?
Yeah, Extension.
Extension. There you go.
Rapper.
So they're number 10,
Okay.
followed by Pearl Jam
Okay, not shocking.
at number
but
9. At any point, if you want to jump in and give me another guess, just please stop me. So Extension 10, Pearl Jam 9, Kanye West.
Oh, shut up.
Yeah, I know. At number 8.
How about Pitbull?
No.
I got one. Beyonce.
No.
Okay,
Not on there either.
No idea.
Sir Paul McCartney
Not shocking, but
at number
yeah.
7. Green Day at 6.
You must have been thrilled.
Do I have one of those? No, I don't, actually. Guns N' Roses at 5. Outkast at 4. Here's one that really surprised me. The other 2, based on some of the other groups you've heard already, make sense. But Earth, Wind, and Fire
Man.
at number 3.
Is there like 1, maybe 2 members left on that band?
Maybe at this point. Red Hot Chili Peppers
Chili's.
at number 2. And number 1, you will kick yourself for not guessing it once you've heard these other ones, Nirvana.
Oh, man. Yeah, see? They're classic.
Now, those are the averages. And by the way, an average actual concert T-shirt, not a knockoff, but an actual concert T-shirt for Nirvana, go on eBay, $279.
Even at a show, Mike, even if you go to your favorite rock show, if you go to a Styx show or you go to or any current show, the average T-shirt is anywhere between $50 and $90 now. It's like, boy,
And if
I
you could,
want one, but not that bad.
if you could know some of this ahead of time, you just buy a whole bunch and just like put them away like you put CDs or stock markets or stocks away.
You can buy concert T-shirts or gold. You decide what your investment's going to be.
All right, so then they got into very specific ones, like the 2 most expensive concert T-shirts. One is from Nirvana. It's their long sleeve in utero T-shirt. Any idea how much that goes for in decent condition?
$500.
$2,000.
Shut up. Not
$2,000 for a concert T-shirt. Granted, long sleeve, but still.
no.
Not the most expensive one, though.
Get out of here.
Most expensive one from Grateful Dead, which that makes sense. They've been around or had been around forever.
And honestly, Deadheads are, take it almost to the point of a religion.
Now, again, very specific, the band's Panther T-shirt, which I had not heard of.
Me neither.
And it's just like it sounds like. It's a
Panther?
I was going to say a picture, but a graphic rendering of a panther. $2,750 if you happen to have that T-shirt in your collection in good condition.
That hurts my entire body. I can't imagine it.
Now, how would you feel if you had that at some point and that was maybe signed and went through the wash, and you figured, I'm just going to have this as a work around the house T-shirt at this point, and it had holes in it, and if only you had known.
Well, I get that. That's like I have loads of vinyl still. A lot of it's still in good shape, and I'm sure I've got money out there, but I'm not getting rid of it. I love some of them, and I'm sure some of them are actually worth real money, but